Hi everyone, welcome to the YouTube channel today. This is Lori Whitlock, and in this video I'm going to introduce you to this brand new line of button cards that I've released. They are a series of really pretty flower cards, and in the center we have made some buttons in our craft room to go on the front of the card. Some people call these buttons, some people call them pins, but the cool thing about these is it's a card, but it's also got a little gift that can be taken off. And if you want to mount a magnet on the back, this can become a little gift that somebody can keep on their fridge as a token or memento of the beautiful card that you gave them. So most of these are Mother's Day. This one says Mom, first my mother, forever my friend, best mom ever, I love you Mom, I heart Mom. But then I've also included some all occasion. This one's just generic for any occasion. It's got two beautiful buttons on it. We also have a lovely day, which I just love on this floral arrangement. Happy birthday to you and thank you. And of course you could mix and match these buttons as you see fit. But basically the button is a print and cut piece sized correctly for the We Are Memory Keepers button press, and I'll put a link to that in the description of this video. I've also included a second size inside of each file so that you have a smaller one that you can just cut out of cardstock and use for the center of the flowers if you don't have a button press. So if you want to invest in a button press, you can use a larger one, and I'll show you how to use that button press to make those buttons right now. And if you don't, you can just use the circle. You could also attach a pop dot, or maybe even cut a circle of chipboard that's just the same size as the circle to make it a little heavier duty if you'd like to do that. So I'd like to show you how to put these together. These are all A2 sized. They are going to be a little bit thicker because of that button, and depending on if you put a magnet on the back or not, they're going to even be a little thicker depending on the magnets you use. So just keep that in mind. You might want to hand deliver this card, or maybe even make one of my little 3D card box envelopes to deliver these. So I'm just going to go ahead and clear these off. Oh, I also wanted to mention all of the mother phrases. I have included the UK MUM, or mother, with a U instead of an O. So just so you know, they're inside the file. Even though you're not seeing them in the pictures, you will be receiving both the American and the UK version of Mom for each of those. As I mentioned, I used the We Are Memory Keepers button press to make these cards, or to make the buttons on the cards. This is what it looks like. Has this little swivel base here at the bottom, and I'm just going to stand it up so you're going to be seeing it from a top view. There's this little insert piece that goes over here on this side, and you just has a little magnet that kind of holds that piece up in place. There we go. And what you do is there's a rotation here to A and B. So first we're going to set it on A, and we'll put our button in, and then we'll put the back on after we rotate it to B. So you do need to make sure that you get those rotated properly. There's instructions with the button press if you purchase one. But let's go ahead and put together one button. So as I mentioned, I've included in the file two sizes. You'll want to cut the larger size of the print and cut if you're going to use it in the button press. I purchased the We Are Memory Keepers buttons, and this is what they look like. They're a little bit difficult to find right now because the stock seems to be a little bit low. So I did purchase some on Amazon, and I'll put the link in the description to both. And these buttons also worked in the button press just fine. So I'll put a link so that you can purchase those if you'd like. The other thing that you need that comes with the button kits are some cellophane circles. They're already pre-cut for you. And I've got one here, and I'm sure that's really difficult for you to see, but I've got one ready to go. So the first thing you're going to do is take your button front and lay it down in this piece here. And then you take your graphic, and if you want to turn it into an actual pin, you want to make sure that this line reads horizontally with the text so that your pin will be going the right direction. But we're actually going to take the pin out and put the magnet on. So probably doesn't matter for these cards, but just be aware of that. And that is in the instructions with the button press as well. I have the little cellophane piece, so we've stacked the button and then the graphic and then the cellophane. And I've set my arrow to A on both parts. I'm just going to swivel that around and pull down on that arm of that button press. Then I'm going to swivel that back around, and my button has disappeared. It's up in this top part right now. So now I'm just going to rotate this to B, and I'm going to take the back off of my button before I put it in the press, because I don't want that pin to be sandwiched in there. I just want to put a magnet on it, so I'm just going to discard that. And then we want to put the part down that's going to be the back of our button, and then this one is going to face the button, if that makes sense. So it's kind of the depressed area is going to be the back. That's where we're going to put the magnet. That's also where the pin is. That would go facing down, and the grooved side would point up. So make sure we've rotated everything to B. Then we'll rotate that around and pull on that handle, and that puts the back on the button. And there's our beautiful button. Look how cool that is. Isn't that awesome? So now we have a little button ready to go on our card. So let's get our card put together. This button press is so much fun. I can see a lot of uses for that. So perhaps you'll want to invest in one of these. If not, just go ahead and print and cut just the little circle. But look how professional the button looks. I just love that. So let's grab our card pieces. These cards are really quite easy to put together. Let me grab our completed card that looks like this one, so you can kind of compare them side by side as I put it together. I just have an A2 card base that's in the file for you, and then you have the green background stem, and then we're just going to glue that right in place there. And I'm going to use a little liquid adhesive for that because the stem is so thin. I'm going to use my fine tip glue bottle to get glue right where I want it on that stem. Okay. And then we're just going to take this and flip it over and glue it right on the front of our card. These cards are quite simple to put together. And then we have 2 layers of yellow, and you'll just want to rotate that and match up your yellow background with your yellow front just the way you want it. And we'll go ahead and flip that over and put some adhesive on this. Let's see, I have to remember how I had that rotated just a second ago. Okay, that looks like that's going to work. So let's go ahead and glue that in place. And we'll flip that over, put some adhesive on the back of our flower, and then put that in place. So now that our flower is on, we're going to go ahead and put a button on the front of our card. And on this one, I'm just building up the back with a couple layers of foam tape. You can also use a pop dot. On this one, I'll just pull this off so you can see. I just used one of the round foam dots, and it was thick enough to hold that button and put it in place. This one, this foam tape was a little thinner, so I had to use a couple layers of that, but that can just be put in place and we'll hold it down really nicely. Or like I showed you before, you can put a magnet on the back. So just use a glue dot to put the magnet onto the button, and then I also use another glue dot to put the magnet back of the button onto the card. Now, of course, that glue dot would need to be cleaned off before you use it as a refrigerator magnet, but it's a great way to stick it to the front of the card to finish it off. So I'm hoping that you enjoy these cute cards, that you like making these for Mother's Day this year and for other occasions. There's some really pretty designs that I've created for you. So if you like these cards, please let me know. I'll be happy to make more of them. If you enjoy the button press, leave me a comment here. If you have any questions or would like to post your pictures, please feel free to comment here or upload your pictures to our Facebook page at Facebook.com/Lori.Whitlock.studio. Have a great day, and I will see you all in another video. Bye-bye.